Hello and welcome to the 1880s. I have here my Weldon's book of practical crochet. I kind of want to make this. I don't know why. I know we all mostly agree that dolls are kind of creepy, but I've never made a doll dress in Tunisian crochet. I've never made a doll dress from a pattern this old before, so I would like to give this a try just for funsies. So it says to get a single Berlin wool in blue and white. I have this Cabo. It's kind of a steely blue. It's not light blue. I have this white that's almost the same size. It's ever so slightly thinner. So I don't know. I was just in the mood. I know today is supposed to be my day off, but I can't stop thinking about the patterns in this book. That is how excited I am. And I didn't really want to flip through and pick one at random this time. I just want to make this. I don't even know why. But I'm gonna just jump right in now. I'm going to show you the size of Tunisian hook I have. It's a 3.3 millimeter. This is a vintage Susan Bates hook. These are awesome. All right, so it says we have to start with 72 chains. Man, I'm gonna slap 72 chains on this deck real quick. There we go. Okay, I have my 72 stitches worked now. The pattern says to work 5 rows of plain tricot. So that's going to be simple Tunisian stitch. So I'm just going to draw through 1 and then draw through 2 the whole way. I hope I don't regret picking this bamboo cotton because we all know that bamboo cotton is famously splitty. And it's already acting up. It doesn't help that I center pulled too, so it's kind of crinkled. That's going to make it even splittier. But the more you work the center out, you get to the smoother fibers. It's a little less splitty then. No pain, no gain, right? Okay, I'm going to work 5 rows of plain tricot or simple Tunisian stitch. I will be right back. Okay, so I switched yarns because this was it was taking me, I barely made it to row 3 because every single stitch was splitting. It is a light size 3, requires a 4 millimeter. So I went with this, requires a 3 millimeter, and it is also classified as a light size 3, but it is just a little bit thicker than the other one. That's fine. I have no hope of this fitting any of the dolls that I have. I just want to make it. I just want to make it for literally no reason, just because. Because why not? Because I want to be able to say, hey, I once made a doll dress from the late Victorian era. Yeah. Why not? I want to put that in my Rolodex of things I can say I made. Okay, so I'm going to finish working the rest of these till I get to row 5 or finish row 5, and then I will be back. I mean, it's almost a similar color. It's in the same family of colors anyway, and I have this light gray, which is the same brand and everything. It's just a partially used chunk of mess, but it's the same brand and everything. It's just light gray. It's like a silvery gray. The sheen isn't really showing up. Maybe it is. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, but this is acrylic as opposed to the bamboo cotton. So, oh, I also had to bump up my hook size because the other one was too small. So now I'm working with a 4.25 millimeter, so a whole hook size up. Again, I have no hope that this is going to fit any of the dolls that I have, but one never knows, right? One never does know. Okay, got my 5 rows of plain tricot done. Now, I'm going to hold this up for you in case you want to follow along. Here is the series of decreases that we do just on row 6, and then it says to work 4 rows in plain tricot until you get to the point where you're ready for row 11. But it's a lot for me to just keep saying, you know, raise this, raise that. But raise means to decrease. I'll show you how to do one decrease. Super easy if you've never done it before. But it says here, raise 7. That just means to put seven stitches. If you're familiar with Tunisian crochet, ooh, blurry. Put 7 of the stitches on your hook, then work a decrease, 7, decrease, 7, decrease, raise 16, then decrease, 7, decrease, 7, decrease, raise 8, and then, you know, work your back row, or Work your return pass, and then work 4 rows in plain until we get to the 11th, where it looks like we're going to do some decreasing again. So, okay, it said to start off by raising 7. I already have 1 on my hook, so we're going to actually have 8 on the hook, which is probably why we raise 8 at the end, because your first loop on your hook is your first stitch. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, leaving us with 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then raise 2, you just go under 2 stitches, and that's a decrease. And there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and work row 6 and then 4 rows of plain tricot after that. And then I'll be ready for row 11. Okay, got all of that done. Now I'm going to go ahead and hold this part up for you because these are the instructions for the remainder of the skirt portion. So I'm going to assume that we started off by raising 7 and then making a decrease. Now it wants us to raise 6 and make a decrease. It says right here, then decrease again. So I assume then we raise 5 and work our decreases. It says work 4 more rows and decrease again. So I'm going to assume we raise 4 and work our decreases. Then it says then 4 more rows plain. Then the skirt will be sufficiently long. So I'm going to hold these instructions up for you. You can pause the screen, whatever you need to do. But I'm going to follow the same instructions, just going to reduce it by 1 stitch every decrease section. So this time it wants us to start by raising 6 and then working a decrease. And then raising 6, working a decrease. At some point, we raise 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Work a decrease. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and work all of that off camera. You have the instructions if you want to follow along. And I will be right back. So here's where I'm at. I finished making the skirt portion last night. I pinned it down and took the hot hair dryer to it to relax the curl. I'm going to do that one more time to give it another good relax. I apparently have a snagged stitch over here. Anyways, so the doll I have, the skirt is way too big in circumference. Here is the doll that I have. Let me get this around her waist, so you can see the excess. Quite a bit of excess, but what I decided to do was, since this pattern comes out of the 1880s, so I went ahead and made her a lobster tail bustle. It's kind of flat on this side. I really pushed all of the fluff up on this side. This is the proper style of bustle in the 1880s. Now, toward the late 1880s and the mid 1890s, the bustles got a little smaller and they were just a little pillow on the back end. But absolutely, to get that silhouette, you needed that lobster tail cage style bustle. So I'll tie this on her. Of course, whenever I go to put it on the doll, I'll make sure that it's more flush than this. I have all of this excess material here. So if this comes around the front, this needs to come down a little further. There we go. And bring this close to the front here like this, where it's just like that. I have all this excess material in the back, but I can like stitch it into a little bit of sort of pleating back here. Well, here we go. That needs to come down a little. It's hard to do just holding it. I would have to actually stitch these things. Put one there and put one there so that we have a little bit of pleating in the back. You can see where I'm going with this, hopefully. A rough idea anyway. So like that and like that. So now I'm working on the jacket portion. So essentially I am changing up the pattern a little bit, but not really. Everything else is going to be the same. I just thought with all that excess material, I can make a jacket that fits and keep the oversized skirt and just use that excess material to create a bustle. So it would be pinned like this or stitched like this. You see? Okay. So as far as the instructions for the top portion go, it says here for the body, commence, there we go, commence with chains sufficient to meet around the waist, which I did do that. It was 20 chains. It just meets. Actually, I did 21. Forgive me. I did 21. Work 4 rows of plain tricot. Next row, increase 1 stitch under each arm. Work a plain row, and next row, increase again under the arms. So I took the little doll, wrapped this around the waist. You can see with 21 stitches, it just meets. And of course, under each arm, I put a stitch marker. Close that back up. I put a stitch marker under each armpit. I wonder if I should come over one more. Oh, it's upside down. Hang on, it's upside down. That might make a difference. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I put 1 stitch marker under each arm, and I'm going to go from there. So now I have to work my increase round here. And one of you out there, please forgive me for not remembering your name. It's been a little while since this comment was left. Gave a wonderful idea on making a cleaner looking increase. And so I'm going to try that today. So normally with an increase, I would yarn over, make a stitch, and it would create kind of a big hole. This person suggested that when making an increase, so this is the stitch here. I'm going to make an increase right here. Go in, work into the chain stitch instead and draw up a loop. And that should give me a cleaner increase. So far it has. No big ugly gap. So that was wonderful advice. I am employing that advice now. Wonder if I shouldn't put the increase here. No, this is fine. Or I wonder, no, I think that was fine. Okay. Into the chain stitch, and then into the regular stitch. Yeah, that's a wonderful idea. Thank you so much. If you were the one who left me that comment, leave me a smiley emoji or a thumbs up or, hey, it was me, knucklehead, so I can properly thank you. Because I remembered the advice. I just don't remember the name, and I am so sorry. I'm guessing I'm going to be using that advice the rest of my crochet life because it looks pretty good. Okay, work my return pass. Yeah, this yarn was much better than the bamboo cotton. That was just splitting. It might be a slight exaggeration to say every stitch, but it sure seemed like every stitch. Dragging out the entire process. Okay, I got to do how many rows? Okay, it says here, sufficient work 4 rows in plain tricot, increase 1 stitch under the arm, plain row, and increase again. So I'm going to increase this next row here. That was wonderful advice. Look at how clean that looks. That is beautiful. Oh, I hope you say leave me a comment. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and use this chain stitch. This is a game changer. This is the kind of advice that's a game changer. Look at how beautiful those increases look. My goodness, I'm never, ever going to simply yarn over again to make an increase. Never again. You have improved my Tunisian crochet. Okay, that was the increase there, so I'm going to work another increase here. Beautiful. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, then I will work my return pass and we'll see what I got to do next. Look at those gorgeous increases. I'm telling you, changed my whole Tunisian crochet game. Beautiful. Such a simple little suggestion. 110% improvement. So thank you. You made me a better Tunisian crocheter. Look at those gorgeous increases. Oh my goodness. Okay, enough of that. Although I am obsessed. Let me move this down here. Next row. Okay, here's where I'm at now. Now work the right front shaping round the arm. And now these, I read these already, they're very vague. They don't give any instructions on how to do that. They just sort of assume that you know. So I may go through the book and see if there's any instructions for a Tunisian crochet doll dress that includes some of that, and I might incorporate that. We'll see. It says here, okay, work the right front shaping round the arm and shoulder to the neck. Then do the back, then the other front. Make 9 chains for the sleeves. Work 2 plain rows of tricot, then increase at the end of each. That looks like a different type of sleeve than what they're describing, because these look like decreases. Doll's costume and crochet, doll's costume and crochet. Let me see if there's another dress in here that might offer some instructions for the bodice shaping. One never know. One never know. I'll be right back. There were a few other dolls, but none of them were Tunisian crochet. Okay. So I'm just gonna sort of wing it then, since there are no specific instructions. So, and it says to do just the right front. I'm going to do all the way around. I'm going to just keep going around like that. And I have an idea. No, then I'll have to crochet the sleeves. I may have to crochet the sleeves. I don't know yet. Oh no, we work the sleeves separate and sew them on, don't we? Okay. Let's see here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Skip 3. Let's see what I think of that. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? 4, 5. Skip 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, it said to do nine chains for the sleeve, so I got to skip 6 then. 1, 2, 3, and start working. So skip 3 and then start working again. There we go. Armhole, right? Or is that too low? Okay. I want to try it on her. I guess I'll work my way over. I didn't work out this part here though. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the 3 I need to skip. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll work a return pass and then I'll hold it up to the doll and see how it's working out. Oh, this part here is going to be weird. Oh, no, the sleeves are going to get sewn on separately. I have to keep reminding myself that. Now that's going to make this too small to go around her. I may have to start all over again with a bigger piece overall, because this is just going to make it too small to go around her now. Decreasing 6 stitches like that. What in the world? Why won't you work? There we go. Yeah, I think I just made it really small. This isn't going to work out like I thought it was. 100% this isn't going to work out like I thought it was. It's too small. And the other armhole doesn't even. Okay, well, I mean, it was worth a try. See, there's no instructions on how to work any of this out. It literally just says, next work the right front, shaping round the shoulder arm, and then the neck, then do the back, then the other front. I guess I just worked the front. Was I supposed to undo that? Yeah. So maybe I just work the front, leaving the arms alone, leaving the armhole areas alone. Okay, well, I think I want to work, because we have to go over the breast area. I think I want to work more increases then. Let's see here. Work 1 increase. I'm just sort of making this up as I go because there's no direction for this. 3. Okay. I'll stop there. Okay, so let me keep track of this. That was 1 row, then 1 row plain. I'm making this up as I go, you guys. None of this is written down. I'm going to work another increase for row 2. I'm going to work the increase on this side. Give a little underarm room. So right here. Looking at the picture, this goes all the way up to the neck, just a straight line. So now for 3, it's just going to be plain with no increases. Okay, let's see how this is looking. Okay, yeah, that was good. I can repeat that on the other side, so no more increasing. So that was good. That looks good. Yeah. How many more rows should I go? Probably another 2, maybe 3. So now row 4. Three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm counting so I make sure that I know the number, because I didn't even count how many stitches I had increased up to. That way I can match it on the other side. Okay, now we're going to do 5. I'll do 6 and see how that looks. If I don't like it, I can take it out. Okay, and then 6. Oops, I hit the button. Now it says 7, but it's 6. All right, let's see how that looks. 6 rows up. Six rows looks good. Yeah, and it comes over the shoulder a little bit. So 6 rows looks good, and you can see how the doll looks. It just goes all the way up to the neck with the little bow. Okay, so I'm gonna oh, it said then do the back. Yeah, let's see. As far as the back goes, I'm gonna need to do some increases too for the back, because the waist is very narrow. So let me push this hair out of the way. This is a vintage doll, by the way. Okay. So the back, I think, is going to need I'll start off by making 1 increase on both sides. and then I'll work a row. I might do another increase on both sides and then keep it like that. I think that's what I'll do. First things first, I need to bind off this row. And we do that by working slip stitches under the regular stitches that we work. But now I know I need to work a total of 6 rows up. And there's the scissors. And let's see here, what's going on with this? Okay. And right now, the stitch count is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Should I leave 1 stitch? Yeah, what if I start over here and leave this 1 stitch open for the armhole? Yeah. I'll do the same on the other side as well. Gonna be lots of little tails to weave in on this one. Unavoidable. Okay. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 8. Okay, so this is going to be row 1. Oh, what's going on there? Yeah, okay. So this will be row 1, no increase. So row 2, I'm going to work an increase. So I'll go into my first stitch. Then I'm going to work an increase into that chain 1. There we go. Now I'll work another increase here just before this stitch. So that should give me 10 stitches across now. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How do I have 9? What did I start with? 4, 5, 6. No. What is going on over here? Did I miss a stitch? Did I miss a whole stitch? I did. Oh, God. Okay, let me work one row plain. So row 3 plain. Then I'll hold it up to the doll and see how it's looking. Remember, the bodice comes up a little higher than that. And it's really tight, so it's hard to hold it. The arm seems a little low. The armhole seems a little low. That's all right. What are we at? I don't think I need to worry about any more increases. I just need to work a few more rows. So that seems all right. Okay. But the armhole seems a little low, almost as if I should have worked one more row of the waist part. Okay, well, what's done is done. So we're at 3 rows, which makes sense because I should work about 6 to match the front. So, all right, I'm going to work 3 more rows with no increases and then hold it up and see how it's looking. I'll be right back. This is row 4. Okay, the back is a good size, but I don't like the big kind of gap I'm getting around the arms. That's okay. All right, I'm going to do the other side here the same way, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm using these really fine pins. These are much thinner than my T-pins, so they're less damaging to my couch. So I just pinned the bodice to my couch. It's because it's fine. This is my crafting couch. Why not? And I'm just going to use heat to sort of stretch. Let me get some pins right there too. Let me just put a couple right here too. And right here. Yeah. I know I abuse my poor couch, don't I? It's fine. I always say it's fine. Because it is. I mean, you only live once. And honestly, my crochet is more important than my couch. Couches have always come and gone. But being able to make a doll from the 1880s for the first time, that comes once. That comes once. The couch don't mind. Okay. I want to straighten that piece out. Okay. So for those who don't know, the deal behind this is acrylic, so it's plastic. I don't get it wet or anything because there's no point. It's plastic. It's not going to soak anything up, not like cotton would or natural fibers. And so I'm blocking this essentially to give it good shape, to loosen it up. The heat is going to soften like it's conditioned. It's going to soften and relax this plastic. And then I'm going to let it sit here and cool all the way back down to normal room temperature. And that will lock in the shape. That's the way you shape plastic, is by getting it hot, shaping it into place, and then letting it harden and cool in that shape, and it'll stay in that shape forever. And so that's the logic behind this. And anytime you work with Tunisian crochet and you're working with acrylic, you can relax your curls this way. And if you're working with natural fibers, you can get them wet. You can just dampen them with a little spray bottle, pin them into place, and let them dry. You don't have to worry about a hair dryer, but you can use a hair dryer on your natural fibers if you want to quicken the process of drying and evaporating the moisture out of the piece. But that, I think, is the best way to get the curl out of Tunisian crochet and to block acrylic so you can shape it. Well, I have the top done, the sleeves done. I just followed the instructions. I went ahead and pinned the excess material to the back. Here, this is not finished. It's just pinned in to give an idea of how it's going to look. And I need to get some material, which I have. I still have plenty of that white material I used to make a slip for the 1930 something gown that I made back when I very first started this channel. So I figured I'd make some of that material. I've been looking at dresses online and stuff, and how to make these and how they're supposed to look anyways. And I need a bit of material that drapes on the front and kind of looks gathered and like ruffled up. And then it also needs to come across the back as well. I have that white material. I will use that since I have to use white to trim everything. So I haven't done the trimming. I did go ahead and sew this on. I have to do the trimming for the skirt, and I got to put some trimming on the sleeves and on the bodice. I had to pin these down and fold them because they were just too much excess material. Again, you guys know, I do not know how to make shaped wear, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I'm improving. This doesn't look great. This doesn't even look that good, but it's an improvement from someone with zero experience in doing this, virtually zero experience in doing this type of crochet. So, you know, I didn't know how to do a lot of things whenever I first learned how to crochet. These are all firsts for me. But here's how the skirt is beginning to look. It's definitely looking very 1800s. My little bustle down there is doing its job. So moving right along. I was just looking at the dress, and I think because I went with the bustle and everything like that, I may have to change the whole aesthetic. So at this point, this video is an inspiration video and not a step, like I'm not taking step by step from the pattern anymore. I think I'm going to not do different colored trimming. Just looking at how those dresses were made, I'm going to try to make a seamless join in the front and work the material that needs to drape on the front and drape over the back of the bustle, add the bows, and make a hat. So yeah, I'm going to take this in a totally different direction. And I may actually add some of the lace that I have to trim the bottom with and to trim the sleeves with. So I'll be back. I may even use some of the lace to trim some of the drapage that goes on the front. I think that's going to make it look really pretty. Okay, so here is my finished doll. I sort of came up with the hat, pinned it into place. I didn't put too much embellishment on it, which wouldn't really be true to the time. The hats were definitely a lot more embellished. I made a little shawl for it, and I actually got this shawl pattern from another channel. She's a very small channel, and I'd love to see her get lots of love because what a gorgeous little pattern this is. It's like supposed to be little pineapples. So cute. I didn't block it, so you do lose a little bit of the stitch definition, but it's a gorgeous little pattern. I put some lace embellishments everywhere, and it's not the doll that was in the book. Just the skirt mostly is from what's in the pattern from the book. So this is definitely more of a inspired by type pattern. It's my first time really ever kind of going rogue on anything like this. So you guys let me know what you think. Here, let me stand her up and take a different shots for you. Okay, so I have to do this long ways in order to get all of her because I'm sitting far too close. Okay, so there she is. She looks more late Victorian era than, I mean, I guess 1880s is somewhat late, but the only part of her that really looks late Victorian era would be the bustle, and even it looks more toward 90s, 1890s. But I still think it's very cute. The hat is very fun. The shawl and everything. You guys let me know what you think. This is my first time ever really making a doll like this. I wasn't able to completely follow the pattern. I just wasn't able to fully grasp it. So if this were a can I make that, I would say no, but I can embellish the hell out of it. I can go off on my own. So that is my doll. Please let me know what you think. Do you hate it? Are you totally creeped out? Are you mad at me? Are you unsubscribing right now? Is it the worst thing in the world? Let me know. I love you guys lots. I genuinely actually had fun making this. That's an old sheet, by the way, that gray. I can't find my white material, so I used an old sheet. Okay, let me know what you think. I love you guys lots, and I will see you real soon. Bye. If you do enjoy videos like this and you enjoy me making every pattern in this book, hit like. Hitting like will let me know that what I'm doing is what you want to see. And if you like this video, by all means subscribe. It's free and it is like a great big warm hug.